Hey yo, it's Brian here. Today, gonna be talking about the San Francisco 49ers yet again, doing another top 3 video. This time talking about the offseason so far and questions that I have for it coming into 2019. So these can be some position battles I see, or just anything from free agency to the draft, anything like that. Questions that I have for this offseason coming into 2019. Should be an interesting one. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. I personally did. Let's just get these slew of videos out of the way for the week and call it a week. Before I get the video started, please like and subscribe to support my channel. That would definitely help me out a lot. And yeah, let's just get into it. The top 3 questions that I have for the 49ers this offseason coming into 2019. Number 3, what is the backup quarterback situation looking like? This is a low-key question that I'm asking right now. A lot of people are probably not thinking about this, but for me, I'm thinking about it just because of the fact that that is one roster spot that we could be using on another side of the ball, which is on the defensive side of the ball, or someone to give Garoppolo some help, whether it's the offensive line or wide receiver position. I believe there should be only 2 quarterbacks, to be honest with you, maybe one of the practice squad just like last year, because Garoppolo and Beathard were the quarterbacks coming into week 1, and Nick Mullins was cut and became a practice squad quarterback, but then he got called up because Garoppolo got hurt, and then Beathard became the starter and he became the backup. That was a really confusing situation right there in 2018. In 2019, I believe there should be 2 quarterbacks for the most part. If Shanahan wants to add a 3rd quarterback, that's up to him. I just believe that it shouldn't be Beathard any way, shape, or form. I believe he should have been cut after the season was over in 2018 because he had a pretty disastrous 2 years as a 49ers starting quarterback for this team. Didn't win any games this year, only won 1 game in 2017, which was the game against the New York Giants. But yeah, I mean, he's shown enough where this guy cannot be a viable starting quarterback in the NFL, and I hate to say that. I don't want to be mean or anything, but that's just pretty much the truth right there. Nick Mullins, he got thrust in this situation in week 9 against the Oakland Raiders on Thursday Night Football, and yet he was able to deliver us that win and a couple more wins in 2018, despite the fact not really starting anything and just being thrown into the fire. He was able to do really well. I believe that the 49ers should be asking themselves, what's the quarterback backup situation going to be looking like? I believe there should be 2 quarterbacks, which is him and Mullins, and if there's going to be a 3rd quarterback, then draft a quarterback this year in the later rounds, maybe in the 5th or 6th round, to be honest with you, because Beathard, I don't really believe in him anymore, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys don't believe him in San Francisco anymore. Pretty much backup situation, really important, depends on what they want to do, but I assume Shanahan's going to be rolling with 2 quarterbacks, which is Garoppolo and Mullins, hopefully, and we'll see what happens. Number 2, what are they going to do with the 2nd pick overall in the NFL draft? This is a very interesting question because, 1, they can either just draft an edge rusher or someone on the defensive line, which would be like the millionth defensive lineman that we drafted in the 1st round in the last couple of years, or they can trade down and get some more assets and see what they can do, get some good trade value for it, maybe get a 1st rounder next year or something like that. I don't know, whatever, because they can trade down with the team that needs a quarterback like the New York Giants. That'd be pretty interesting right there. But yeah, for me personally, I would probably just stay number 2 overall and draft an edge rusher or a defensive lineman like Quentin Williams from Alabama. That'd be a pretty good idea right there. But if they want to trade down, as long as they get some good value, that'd be fantastic right there. But for the most part, I think San Francisco, all eyes are on the number 2 overall pick, and I think they're going to just pick somebody with the number 2 overall pick. That's just me. I don't know. I'm not in John Lynch's mind on what he's going to do. He probably made up his mind by now. He probably likes one of these edge rushers. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this is a big question for the draft, and this can really impact Shanahan and Lynch's careers in San Francisco because this is their 3rd year. They want to win as fast as possible because so far they haven't been winning too much, although they've had a lot of circumstantial stuff like injuries and just very unlucky stuff happening, like Garoppolo getting injured last year. They're in a ticking time bomb a little bit, in my opinion. If they don't start winning this year and 2020, then their careers could be over in San Francisco, which I hope that does not happen, but you never know. Hopefully they get it right with the number 2 overall pick, or they trade down for the right amount of assets, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, number 2 overall pick should be an interesting time to see what they do with it. Finally, number 1, the biggest question that I have for the 49ers in this offseason coming into 2019 is what is going to happen with the running back position, because there is a lot of talented running backs that we have for this team. It's hard to just pick 4 running backs for this 2019 roster because last year they only came in with 4 running backs and 1 fullback. I'm going to be assuming that Shanahan's going to be doing the same thing for this roster. So if I had to pick 4 running backs just off the top of my head, I'd pick Jared McKinnon, Matt Breida, Tevin Coleman, and Raheem Mostert. I think those 4 guys are the most legit running backs that we have so far in this roster, and I believe they should be coming in to 2019 with that. Kyle Juszczyk would be the fullback right there. There's a lot of interesting underlinings for this question, because Matt Breida, I don't know what's going on with him. People are saying that he's the odd man out, which is kind of weird because he was leading the league in rushing at one point. He had 5.4 yards per carry. Ridiculous right there for 2018. And he was injured for the most part last year, and he did really, really well. I hope the 49ers, they don't marginalize him in favor of McKinnon and Coleman, which I love those both. But, you know, for McKinnon, he hasn't really proved anything because he was injured last year, even before the season started, and we don't know what he's going to be like. Is he going to be recovering really well, or is he going to be one of those injury-riddled players? I don't know what's going to happen with him. There's been some trade rumors with him, but we'll see what happens. Tevin Coleman, we all know what he is pretty much. I think he's coming off an injury as well. I hope Shanahan and Bobby Turner do not marginalize Breida, because Breida, I think he's the magic man for this running back position, and I hope they use him as much as possible. It's going to be really tough to give 4 guys a lot of carries. We'll see what happens right there. Running back position should be interesting. Maybe they'll trade one of these backs somewhere else, but I hope for the most part they all stay. And I like to have Matt Breida as the #1 running back just because he came off in 2018 as the #1 running back. He should come into 2019 as the #1 running back for this upcoming season. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what they like, and should be interesting to see what they do. That's pretty much it. You guys wanted to talk about this. Want to talk about 3 questions that I have for the 49ers for this offseason coming into 2019. Please let me know what your questions are for the Niners coming into 2019. Please, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. And if you guys like this, please like and subscribe to support my channel. That would definitely help me out a lot. And I will be catching you guys up tomorrow. I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Go Niners all day.